Hey there, Geometry. It's Mr. Lamb coming to you with page 3, which will be the quickest of the 4 pages because it's only 2 questions. There are just 2 questions on here. It's actually question number 9, and there are 2 of them. You'll get a point for each line. So you'll get a point here, and you'll get a point there. And the nice thing is we have a word bank to choose from at the bottom, and it just says that Mrs. Henry gave her students an incomplete proof as shown. And it has the given, what has been given, and what we need to prove. And it takes us through the 7 steps used to prove this. And you'll notice that the first thing she writes in step 1, and actually line 1 and 2, is list all the given. And we always talk about that. Make sure you list all the given information first. Then her third statement says that angle F and H. So I'm going to, over here, I'm going to highlight F and H right here. So you now see that in red. That's F and H. And she says that it is congruent to RWV. So RWV. So right there. She says those 2 angles are congruent. And we want to know why. Well, if you look at what line they share, you can see that these are one of our special types of angles. I have 2 parallel lines, which I would call line HQ and line TX. Those are my 2 horizontal lines. The 2 parallel lines are cut by the transversal. So FZ cuts across. And it makes these 2 angles. And you'll notice they're both top left. And if they're both top left, my word bank down here, it's one of these reasons. So which reason is it? They're both top left. They are corresponding angles. So this is the one that we want to go with. So corresponding angles are congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent. I'm going to continue on. The next one says that RVW is congruent to RWZ because vertical angles are congruent. And then we have the transitive property. And then line 6 says that I have NPR. So again, NPR. And RVW. RVW. Trying to get a little bit of room in between those, so you see those are 2 different ones. So if I have these 2 angles, why are they congruent? Well, if you look, they're again 2 parallel lines, those 2 horizontal lines. And now they're cut by a new transversal, YG. YG cuts through there. These 2 angles are both inside the parallel lines, so they're interior, and they are on opposite sides of the transversal. So they are alternate interior angles. So my last reason, alternate interior angles are congruent. So those are the only 2 questions on this page, for a grand total of 2 on page 3. The last video is coming up next.